Are you tweeting while working at your American job? In this lesson, you'll learn about phrasal verbs and vehicle insurance.
This conversation takes place in the morning before the store opens in the employee break room.
And it's between Sarah and Alex.
Sarah is the new, apparently militaristic assistant manager, and Alex, again, seems not to understand that he is talking to his boss and therefore shouldn't be so casual.
Let's listen to the conversation.
Attention people, Big John has taken the day off, but he left us with some instructions.
Did he put in anything strange?
That's up to you to decide. To start things off, he asked us not to use our cell phones during work.
Not even for Twitter?
No, not even for Twitter.
That's okay. I don't even own a cell phone.
He also reminded us that the printer is not for personal use.
What do you mean by personal use?
Not for personal use means the printer can only be used for store-related tasks.
Does printing out my insurance card count as personal use?
Yes, it does. And last, he reminded us that we shouldn't log in to Facebook at all while at work.
And how does he know that we're doing all that?
Because of the cameras. Look here at the sign. Smile, you're on camera.
I've never seen that. Has anyone else seen that? How long has that been there?
7 months.
Wow. I've been getting away with this stuff for a long time.
Okay, so in this lesson, we wanted to talk a little bit about vehicle insurance.
Vehicle insurance is also known as auto insurance or car insurance. The primary purpose of vehicle insurance is to provide financial protection against car wrecks, bodily injury, collisions, or any of the various types of damage that can happen through traffic collisions or other vehicle-related situations.
In the United States, vehicle insurance varies from state to state. You should be aware of and familiar with the laws regarding vehicle insurance in your respective state.
Remember that all states require the vehicle owner to carry some minimum level of insurance, except Virginia.
When you insure your car, it's typically said that you carry insurance on your car. Usually, insurance companies provide the vehicle owner with an insurance card that details the specific terms and coverage for that insurance policy.
In almost all states, that insurance card must be kept in the vehicle at all times.
Let's take a look at the vocabulary for this lesson. The first word we'll look at is
Reminded.
cause someone to remember someone or something.
Reminded. Reminded.
Our second word is
Log in.
go through the procedures to begin use of a computer, database, or system.
Log in. Log in.
Our third word is
Look at.
examine.
Look at. Look at.
Our next word is
Start off.
begin working or dealing with something.
Start off. Start off.
Next we have
Task.
some work that is assigned to a person.
Task. Task.
And our last word is
Insurance.
agreement, where a person makes payments to a company in promise that the company will pay money in the case of injury or accident.
Insurance. Insurance.
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson.
In the dialogue, we heard the phrase, Attention, people.
This phrase is one way of getting a group of people's attention. There's a slight nuance here. Sarah used the word people instead of everybody. There's nothing grammatically wrong with this. Both are equally acceptable grammatically.
The nuance is cultural. Using the word people in this way distances Sarah from the other employees. It's a slight, however noticeable sign that Sarah thinks that she is above the other employees. Technically, she is above the other employees since she is the assistant manager.
However, by using this word choice, There is a feeling that she thinks she is better than the other employees, not just that she has a higher position. Could you break this down for us?
Attention, people.
And one time fast.
Attention, people.
Excellent. What's next?
Our next phrases are cell phone and mobile phone.
To keep things simple, cell phone is used in the US and mobile phone is used in the United Kingdom. Both phrases can be shortened and become just cell or mobile, respectively.
Usually, this is pronounced mobile with the long I instead of saying mobile.
Saying mobile is how Americans pronounce it, but since we don't say it this way, it doesn't really apply. People from the United Kingdom or from Australia or who speak British English will say mobile. So could you break down cell phone for us?
Cell phone.
And one time fast.
Cell phone.
And mobile phone. Could you break it down?
Mobile phone.
And one time fast.
Mobile phone.
Let's take a look at the grammar point. Barbara, what's the focus of this lesson?
The focus of this lesson is phrasal verbs.
In the dialogue, we heard the phrase,
Big John has taken the day off, but he left us with some instructions.
Phrasal verbs are verbs that are made of more than one word. There are 4 types of phrasal verbs that can be divided into 2 categories.
The first category is phrasal verbs that take objects, and the second category is phrasal verbs that don't take objects. For those of you who are familiar with more complex grammar terms, those are transitive and intransitive phrasal verbs.
Phrasal verbs can also be separable or inseparable, and we'll use this distinction to create subgroups.
Let's start with phrasal verbs which take objects. First of all, phrasal verbs which take objects can be separable or inseparable.
Separable phrasal verbs can remain together when using an object that is a noun or noun phrase. The phrasal verb to pick up is a separable phrasal verb.
A good example would be, I picked Jerry up, where we insert the noun between the verb and the preposition. Or, I picked up Jerry, where the verb and preposition stay together.
2 other examples would be, they put their books up, or they put up their books.
The tip here is that separable phrasal verbs must be separated when a pronoun is used.
For example, we picked her up at the airport, not we picked up her at the airport.
Inseparable phrasal verbs always remain together. It makes no difference if a noun or pronoun is used.
For example, they are looking after the children. Compare that to, they are looking after them.
Now let's move on to phrasal verbs which don't take objects.
These phrasal verbs are always inseparable.
For example, the thieves got away, and the bus broke down on the way to work, and she got up early.
A quick tip here is that if you are not sure whether a phrasal verb is separable or inseparable, use a noun or noun phrase and do not separate. This way you'll always be correct. However, sometimes it won't sound natural.
Let's look at the separable phrasal verb bring up.
The example sentences here would be, they brought up their children to respect others. It would also be, they brought their children up to respect others.
Now let's look at the inseparable phrasal verb set off.
An example sentence for set off would be, they set off for a wonderful holiday in Hawaii. You cannot say, they set for a wonderful holiday off in Hawaii. That doesn't make sense.
To finish things off, let's look at 3-word phrasal verbs.
Some verbs are followed by 2 prepositions. These phrasal verbs are always inseparable. For example, I'm looking forward to meeting Luke, or I'm looking forward to meeting him.
A second example would be, they didn't get on with their mother, or they didn't get on with her.
That just about does it for today.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Attention, people. Big John has taken the day off, but he left us with some instructions.
Did he put in anything strange?
That's up to you to decide. To start things off, he asked us not to use our cell phones during work.
Not even for Twitter?
No, not even for Twitter.
That's okay. I don't even own a cell phone.
He also reminded us that the printer is not for personal use.
What do you mean by personal use?
Not for personal use means the printer can only be used for store-related tasks.
Does printing out my insurance card count as personal use?
Yes, it does. And last, he reminded us that we shouldn't log in to Facebook at all while at work.
And how does he know that we're doing all that?
Because of the cameras. Look here at the sign. Smile, you're on camera.
I've never seen that. Has anyone else seen that? How long has that been there?
7 months.
Wow. I've been getting away with this stuff for a long time.